how did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their source.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
Diddy sent those to 50?
Diddy's like funeral flowers.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt. My favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy.
There are no misconceptions about me.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
Jay's definitely.
Jay helped you?
Yeah.
How did you
As a competitor.
explain it?
Yeah, because he never was someone that you communicate with, that you're like friends with the person. But I always respected him because he was never an actual competitor in actual fact. He was someone who was a competitor to perception.
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z.
And B was, one time she jumped off of the ledge. Came running over because she thought me and Jay had issues, and I was like, what the and I was like, did she really just jump down and run over here like that?
Beyonce jumped off a ledge.
Yeah, what happened? It was in the Cosmopolitan, huh?
Right. She really a superhero.
She jumped down and no, she was like, this what? Like that Bonnie and Clyde for real? You try this or what, boy? I'm here.
Word.
She down like at me. She looked, I said,
Was Solange with her?
She looked at me like that. I was like, what?
A new storm is brewing, one that connects old rumors, recent scandals, and allegations many believed had long faded from public focus. At the center stands 50 Cent, a figure who has spent years openly challenging people he believes are protected by the entertainment industry. One of those names has consistently been Sean Combs. But now, according to 50, the conversation may extend far beyond a single mogul. This time, he is hinting that the next wave of scrutiny could reach toward Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Oprah Winfrey, three of the most influential names in modern entertainment. These figures have circulated in speculation for years, but rarely have they been referenced so directly in connection with the broader controversy surrounding Diddy. The latest attention intensified after 50 Cent suggested he may possess additional footage tied to the same inner circle connected to the Diddy allegations, implying that the documentary focused on Sean Combs was only the beginning. A short message he posted, "You're next," quickly spread online, fueling widespread debate and interpretation. Many fans immediately speculated that the comment was aimed at Jay-Z and Beyonce, raising questions about timing, motive, and what further revelations could potentially emerge. Much of the speculation centers on the long-standing overlap between these celebrities' professional and social circles. Viewers of the Diddy documentary noted how closely Jay-Z and Diddy's worlds intersected over the years through business ventures, exclusive parties, and major industry events. Beyonce was also frequently seen within many of the same spaces, from Rock Nation functions to Grammy after-parties and other high-profile gatherings. Now, 50 Cent appears to be signaling that proximity alone may no longer shield powerful figures from renewed public scrutiny, as old footage, stories, and unresolved claims are being revisited through a different lens. And if his hints are accurate, the broader conversation surrounding influence, celebrity power, and accountability may only be beginning.
These were private conversations, and that he and Diddy could talk openly, and Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person, and try to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on. And the really enraging part about it is that Mark Agnifilo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. It wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before the trial voted not guilty on all the serious charges. it was Mark Agnifilo that did that. Yet Diddy secretly records this guy and embarrasses him. And yeah, you could say, well, Diddy never expected that it would end up being broadcast somewhere else. Well, okay, but Diddy was planning on using it, or he wouldn't have had it recorded in the first place. So it's just really, really unfair. And I know that in a way this sounds crazy, that I'm getting so upset about Diddy, and yet there's video of Diddy beating Cassie. Well, that's horrendous, but that doesn't mean you can't look at something else as well. And I just think, as a lawyer, I just think this is just so outrageous that he would do something like this, and not even understanding what Agnifilo's legal theory was. Because I will tell you that when we did our first documentary on Diddy, which was 8 months before the trial, Mark Agnifilo said to me on camera that he is going to tell this jury that this was a successful black man that prosecutors were trying to take down because they couldn't get into his bank accounts because they were clean, and he couldn't deal with they couldn't deal with taxes because he wasn't committing tax fraud. So they go into his bedroom. And that's what Mark Agnifilo said 8 months before. And he goes into the trial and he essentially wins that argument, whether you believe it or not. A jury that sat through the whole thing, they believed it, and ultimately they convicted him on this BS Mann Act thing. So Diddy won that case. And one of the reasons he won the case is something that Agnifilo got criticized for. That when he did the documentary with me, he was making a joke about the baby oil. Remember, he said, oh, well, I didn't know he bought in bulk. He must have bought 1,000 bottles at Costco. And a lot of people just slammed him for that and said, how dare you? You're being disrespectful. The baby oil is the smoking gun in this case. Agnifilo knew all along that the baby oil was Diddy's best defense, because when Agnifilo got before that jury in closing arguments, he looked at them and he said, well, the feds came in with their armor and artillery and guns. And what did they do? They got 1,000 bottles of baby oil off the streets. Ooh, he said, the streets are safer now. And the jury laughed. And that laugh told Agnifilo he should keep going on that. And that the trial itself was absurd because the baby oil was really the punch.
As the years went on, Jay-Z continued aligning himself with some of the most influential figures in entertainment, including Sean Combs, Oprah Winfrey, and executives tied to major media and corporate networks. And whenever 50 Cent believed certain issues were being quietly protected or ignored, he responded in the way he's become known for, through sarcasm, public criticism, and carefully timed social media posts. But this time, the tone appeared different. For the first time, 50 directly warned Jay-Z, hinting that he may possess footage or material that could potentially affect the Carters. Fans immediately viewed the message as a major escalation, largely because 50 has built a reputation for eventually backing up claims when he suggests he has insider information, recordings, or documents. That perception is part of why Jay-Z and Beyonce quickly became the focus of intense online speculation. This is also where Oprah's name entered the discussion. Many began questioning why she was being mentioned alongside Jay-Z, Beyonce, and figures connected to Diddy. Part of the answer comes from resurfaced criticism and 50 Cent's long-running public disagreements with her. Over the years, he has accused Oprah of being selective in how she used her platform, arguing that she closely examined certain public figures while allegedly avoiding deeper scrutiny of powerful executives during the height of the #MeToo era. He frequently referenced her involvement in documentaries related to R. Kelly while contrasting it with her past association with Harvey Weinstein. On a more personal level, 50 has also publicly mentioned that Oprah once declined to interview him, something he has brought up repeatedly over the years. To his supporters, That history helps explain why Oprah's name is now being pulled into the broader conversation, and why some believe the controversy may extend beyond any single individual.
His sights on someone new after the Diddy Netflix documentary. If you aren't aware, 50 Cent has been getting insane feedback from the Netflix documentary he made on Diddy. Sean Combs' The Reckoning is what it's called, and it's #1 all over Netflix, beating even Stranger Things. Diddy himself has responded to it, saying the stories are false, of course, denying everything, and even trying to do a cease and desist on the Netflix documentary. And after this Diddy documentary, a lot of people have been wondering who's the next person that deserves to get exposed. And Jay-Z is the one that a lot of people are pointing their finger at. And the reason why Jay-Z's been getting a lot of this type of backlash is because Jay-Z was really close to Diddy. At one point, Diddy was even calling him his brother, and that Jay-Z's the only one that can call him his real name, Sean. That maybe there's something on Jay-Z's side that has been going on behind the scenes. Now, there hasn't been any solid proof yet, but Nicki Minaj has been going at Jay-Z for quite some time, talking about Jay-Z is manipulative and he steals, and he's been pushing a narrative, and that Roc Nation has control and power over a lot of things. And I can kind of understand where she's coming from to a certain extent. We got to remember when Jay-Z went up on the Grammy stage and said Beyonce never won Album of the Year and complained about that, literally the following year, Beyonce wins Album of the Year. Which is just something like, that doesn't show you that there is some power going on there, that there is something behind the scenes that Jay-Z controls. It's clear as day that it's all politics on who wins Grammys, who gets the better light and things. So that kind of opened my eyes, as to Roc Nation's power and how they manipulate things in the media. I'll never forget, Jay-Z would get this like special treatment all the time when it comes to the media. I mean, Hot 97, when they interviewed Jay-Z, they literally rolled out a red carpet. They never did that for any other artist. So Jay-Z's always had this kind of special treatment when it came to things. But now the question is Jay-Z involved in crazier things? I mean, there's been a lot of speculation in a lot of different ways, and people are pointing their attention towards 50 Cent wanting him to do a Jay-Z documentary. And it looks like he might actually do it, because on Instagram he posted a drawing of Jay-Z that kind of makes fun of his looks, and he posted that photo and he said this in the caption: "Please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not gonna post it." Basically making a joke, because obviously he posted it on his social media. But, and here's the interesting but in this, is someone commented on the post, and the comment got liked by 50 Cent. And this is the comment. It's from Dom KMDA. I hope I pronounced that right. Dom Kanmada. He commented saying, "My only question, he's next, isn't he?" And 50 ended up liking that comment. And here's the thing. I actually saw this on Twitter and X, whatever, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to confirm, is this real? Because a lot of people Photoshop these type of things just to create drama and create this speculation. So I actually DM'd the guy himself, and I showed him the photo, and I asked him, "Hey, is this a real photo? Did 50 like your comment?" He said, "Hey, yes, he did." And I was like, perfect. Thank you for confirming. Thought it was Photoshopped. LOL. Appreciate the response. And he said, "I was surprised as well. Didn't see that coming." So shout out to him for, responding to my DM and confirming that, the comment actually got liked by 50, because, a lot of people Photoshop and spread narratives. So me being the proper journalist, whatever you want to call me, news reporter, I, wanted to go get to the source and see if it was actually real. There is also something that's very interesting that went over a lot of people's heads, and that's the documentary coming out on December 2nd. That Diddy documentary coming out on that date. Literally 2 days later, you have Jay-Z's birthday, December 4th, which to me sends a subliminal message to Jay-Z that you're next. So that's crazy. That just, to me, shows that 50 is potentially gonna work on something going at Jay-Z, and he might get Nicki Minaj involved, because Nicki Minaj has a huge issue with Jay-Z with a lot of things, and I don't even know the full details of that, because she's gone at Jay-Z.
The conversation surrounding Sean Combs has now expanded far beyond one individual case, pulling in broader questions about celebrity influence, public accountability, and industry silence. Critics argue that while the public may already be distancing itself from Diddy, the entertainment industry itself has responded far more cautiously. Many observers have pointed out that numerous high-profile figures attended Diddy's parties and moved within the same elite social circles, yet very few major celebrities have publicly and directly condemned the allegations surrounding him. Instead, Responses have often remained vague, measured, or entirely absent, leading some to interpret the silence as strategic rather than neutral. Supporters of 50 Cent argue that this is exactly the culture he has spent years criticizing, an environment where image management, business relationships, and brand protection frequently outweigh direct public accountability. In their view, openly defending Diddy could damage reputations, while aggressively condemning him could risk powerful industry ties. So many choose silence instead. That silence has only intensified public scrutiny, especially regarding longtime associates such as Jay-Z and others connected to the same entertainment circles. Whether that quiet response reflects caution, loyalty, uncertainty, or calculated self-preservation remains heavily debated. But one thing is clear, people are paying close attention not only to who speaks out, but also to who doesn't.
Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support them. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward.
But the story doesn't stop there. Over the years, criticism surrounding Oprah Winfrey and her interactions with certain Black entertainers has repeatedly resurfaced. Ludacris once claimed that parts of his interview were edited and that he was criticized over rap music while promoting a film project. Dave Chappelle later suggested that his own interview framed his concerns as paranoia rather than fully recognizing the pressures he described experiencing at the time. And Monique has publicly accused Oprah of contributing to her being blacklisted following Precious, while Taraji P. Henson has spoken openly about being significantly underpaid for her role in The Color Purple. 50 Cent has publicly supported several of these grievances, arguing that he believes there is an inconsistent standard of accountability within the entertainment industry. There were also controversies connected to the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, particularly incidents reported in 2007 and 2011 that drew major media attention. In later years, online conspiracy theories attempted to connect Oprah to missing children and secret locations, claims that were widely debunked and unsupported by evidence. Despite that, speculation continued circulating in some corners of the internet. Now, with 50 Cent already targeting one powerful mogul through a widely discussed documentary, some fans believe Oprah could face renewed public scrutiny after he hinted that future revelations may involve unexpected figures. In Hollywood, influential circles often overlap, and the paths of Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Sean Combs have crossed repeatedly through interviews, charity events, business ventures, and major entertainment gatherings. Individually, those connections may appear routine within a tightly connected industry. But for some observers, The repeated overlap has fueled renewed curiosity as older relationships and alliances are being reconsidered in light of current controversies.
Beyonce didn't want to speak and does not speak to Brandy. And the truth of the matter is, there she go back there with Monica and Kelly, and there go Patti LaBelle, and then there goes Solange, all right? And there's a reason why Solange is around as well. Because if you guys don't know, for a while, Solange and Beyonce actually were not on speaking terms, but they're back talking now, they're back cool, and basically Solange is around to keep Beyonce spiritually protected. Solange is the spiritual protector of that family. Don't get it twisted. Mama Tina is powerful. Solange is the most powerful list. You better ask some damn body. All right. Now, the reason why Beyonce ain't came to speak to Brandy, baby, is because Beyonce does not talk to anyone who used to sleep with Jay-Z. Okay. Whether you guys know it or not, and I have to say allegedly, right? Jay-Z and Brandy used to talk back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean like late 90s type stuff, right? Brandy always kept Jay-Z on the low back in the day because, quite honestly, he was too ugly to be out in public with. I'm just keeping it real. To claim him publicly, he was too ugly back in the day. Now, when you try to search up pictures of Jay-Z and Brandy, you will find... Hold up, let me see. Hold up. Let me see, because I thought I had a picture of them two. Brandy and Jay-Z. Now this would have been from let's see, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Brandy and Jay-Z. Okay, there we go. Now this picture of them was in 2002. All right, and this was I think was at one of her album release parties, if I'm not mistaken. This was a year after Moesha rap, because Moesha went off air in 2001. Yes, he was dealing with Beyonce at the time as well, and Blue Cantrell's what he was. Let me tell you, Jay-Z was laying the low and spreading it wide. Jay-Z was one of those dudes in the industry that, you know, you messed around with. He piped you down, but before he was really him, you did not claim him publicly because he was just simply too ugly. It was what it was. But Jay-Z was in love with Brandy then. He's not in love with her now, but he still has love and feelings towards her. He's one of those people that feels like once he done had you and once he done loved you, he always feels like he has like possession over you. Jay-Z is one of those kind of men, baby. I don't know if they told you. Jay-Z is extremely jealous, extremely controlling, and extremely possessive. That's another reason why. Hold up. Where'd the picture go? Wait a minute. Where'd the picture go? That's another reason why Beyonce up here. Wait. Anyway, y'all get the point. That's another reason why Beyonce, over the years, a lot of the music that she's made, it's always been with him. A lot of the remixes, it's always been with him or somebody that he approves of her to work with, okay? Jay-Z was so damn controlling, he didn't even want her father, talking about Matthew Knowles now, he didn't want her father managing her anymore, and he stepped in. And if y'all notice, when Jay-Z stepped in as Beyonce's manager, the music changed, everything changed, and the money started to get effed up. But that's another story for another day. We're not getting on that right now. We sticking with Brandy and Jay-Z right now. So they started messing around on the low in the 90s. Even to the early 2000s, they were still messing around. I'm not exactly sure which year the relationship officially ended, but just know that Jay-Z was just basically good for... That was what he gave. He gave big... I don't know no other way to put it, but he was like... For the ladies that's watching, you know, like, if you ever dealt with like a tall, ugly with big pipe, you went to him to get piped down, but you would not like ever like claim him like that because he was just super ugly. It was what it was. And before he really blew up, didn't nobody want to be seen with him like that. It is what it is. And quite frankly, Jay-Z dated a lot of your favorite female stars from back in the day, but they...
Sean Combs and Jay-Z have maintained a long-standing professional relationship for decades, collaborating on music, appearing together at major events, and moving within many of the same business and entertainment circles. Over time, Beyonce also became closely connected to many of those same spaces through industry events, charity functions, and high-profile partnerships. Whenever conversations emerge about the powerful circles surrounding Diddy, Jay-Z and Beyonce are often mentioned, not because they have been formally accused of specific wrongdoing in connection to those discussions, but because of proximity. the same award shows, the same exclusive after-parties, the same investment groups, the same inner networks tied to influence and celebrity power and an industry where relationships and access often shape opportunity. Simply being connected to powerful figures can be enough to trigger public scrutiny. And as older alliances continue to be revisited in light of current controversies, some observers believe figures once viewed as untouchable are now facing a level of attention and speculation they rarely encountered before.
When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
We're gonna let him say that. Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he didn't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. Yeah, he got some shit. He's like drinking. His pictures with him. He thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got it for the music. Jay got it for the music.
He didn't see.
He deserved those.
I'm sitting there, he was like this, like Black excellence. They're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch. Like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He just looking at his watch during the whole Rock Nation prayer. Like, is it 3:30?
Yeah, it's almost time to get out. Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Oh wow! So that's the deal he signed, huh?
Yeah, that's the deal. Like the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
Oh, yeah, before I forget this, we talked about Jay. Proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around Diddy a lot.
That was a real suburb question.
I know, right?
Proximity.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I learned that.
Do you think he knew all of the shit that was going on? Then I was like
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it,
like I said,
no matter how you answer that, you snitching.
That was a narc kind of question.
You asked the question like a fan.
Hey, I grew up with white people, but one thing I know is how to get a black guy in trouble.
But it's a great question. Yo, just give him the Happy Meal before you ask him to snitch, bro.
He said, damn, they wasn't even drinking.
Speaking of, how the hell you pronounce
Lechimindewa.
Okay.
It's the King's Path.
King's Path.
Because I know Branson. That's the one I pronounce.
Branson. That's the Branson lifestyle. You're gonna be outside.
You're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that in my past.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like,
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forgot.
This is why 50 Cent's warning feels different to many of his supporters. In their view, it isn't being framed as random gossip, but as part of a larger web of long-standing relationships and influence within the entertainment industry. Within that narrative, controversies involving Oprah Winfrey, the legal scrutiny surrounding Sean Combs, the public silence of Jay-Z, and the carefully managed image of Beyonce are viewed not as isolated stories, but as overlapping parts of the same powerful network. 50 Cent has repeatedly signaled that Hollywood's influence and status no longer intimidate him. While many initially assumed his documentary would focus only on Diddy, online reaction suggests the broader ripple effect has extended far beyond one individual. Artists, producers, executives, and celebrities who attended Diddy's events collaborated with him. or moved within similar elite circles have all faced increased public curiosity, not because they have been formally accused of wrongdoing, but because proximity itself often fuels speculation. When 50 hinted that additional documentaries or revelations could still be coming, social media discussion intensified even further. Much of that reaction stems from his reputation for publicly challenging powerful figures and revisiting stories many believe the industry would rather leave untouched. Behind the scenes, some observers claim that certain public figures have quietly distanced themselves from older associations. Past photos have reportedly disappeared from social media, public statements have been clarified, and event appearances have shifted. Whether those moves were strategic or purely coincidental remains unclear, but they have only added to online debate and intensified questions surrounding who knew what, who may have noticed warning signs, and who chose not to speak publicly. The documentary itself portrays Diddy as someone whose alleged behavior raised concerns over time, and some celebrities have since acknowledged noticing red flags in hindsight. That acknowledgement has led to renewed scrutiny, not necessarily in the form of proven accusations, but through growing public curiosity and re-examination of past relationships. And as long as 50 Cent continues pulling at these connections, supporters believe more influential names may continue facing uncomfortable questions, fairly or unfairly, as public attention around the entertainment industry's power structures grows stronger.
The 50 Cent Diddy doc. First and foremost, we've been talking about this thing, Jack, for going on 2 years now, and once again, thank you for even being, I guess you could say, a beacon during this whole conversation, as far as kind of spreading light on a lot of things that go down in the industry that, you know, the normal person may not even see or hear about, that happens in the day-to-day. Did you really think 50 Cent, when he first mentioned it, that there was an actual documentary being worked on?
Well, see, this is the thing. I can believe that it was happening. At what purpose? See, and that's the thing. Like, my opinion about all of this stuff is so much different than your average person's, and my outlook is so much different than your average person's. Did I believe that it was possible? Absolutely. Why wouldn't he be able to do a documentary? Why wouldn't he be able to bring in Alexandria to come and put this together? Like, the woman who directed this, she doesn't even seem to have a background in hip hop at all.
That makes sense.
So it's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. I mean, for crying out loud, Diddy sent him freak off videos.
True. Very true.
Interviews.
Very true.
About it.
Did you feel that just 50 Cent's name being attached to it again? These are two, as everyone knows, the three names in hip hop are Jay-Z, Diddy, 50 Cent when it comes to the status of where you could get as a business or a brand.
I guess so.
So for the top three individuals, for one to go at the other and release this doc, I don't know, what does that say to again, I keep asking about the hip hop state of things. What does that say to hip hop? Like, are we our own downfall? I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It all depends on what you consider hip hop. Like, I don't consider any of this debauchery, any of this animalistic crap. I don't consider any of this hip hop. I grew up in hip hop. You know, I know what hip hop culture is, and it's none of this stuff that people are selling.
I mean, when did it stop being hip hop? We're going to go through the documentary itself, but when did it stop?
It stopped being hip hop when it became corporatized. It stopped being hip hop when certain groups of people saw that they could use it to influence the mass public. When people saw how influential hip hop was, it became very clear. Once upon a time, not long ago, where people wore pajamas and lived life still, you know, the laws were stern and justice stood, and people were behaving like they ought to good. There lived a little boy, and he was misled by another little boy, and this is what he said: "Me and you, can we go make some cash, robbing old folks and making a dash?"
Come on.
Like, They did the job and money came with ease, but one couldn't stop us like he had a disease. He robbed another and another and a sister and a brother. Tried to rob a man who was a...
Jay-Z attended high-profile parties. Beyoncé appeared at events connected to many of the same elite entertainment circles. Oprah Winfrey publicly praised figures who are now facing scrutiny. None of that, on its own, suggests involvement in wrongdoing. But in today's digital climate, repeated proximity is often enough for names to become linked within the same online conversations, and once the internet begins connecting patterns, public attention can intensify rapidly. 50 Cent has repeatedly warned that, in his view, this may only be the beginning. He has hinted that more revelations or documentaries could still emerge. After publicly challenging one of hip-hop's most powerful moguls in Sean Combs, some observers believe any future chapter would naturally involve figures with similar levels of influence and cultural power. Many people also question why 50 Cent has positioned himself at the center of this broader conversation. Supporters argue the answer lies in how he built his career. Unlike many figures who rely heavily on industry alliances and institutional relationships, 50 cultivated an image rooted in independence. Through television ventures, business investments, and brand building outside traditional Hollywood structures, he created a level of separation that supporters believe allows him to speak more openly and aggressively than others might feel comfortable doing. Throughout his career, 50 has embraced public conflict, challenging artists, executives, and influential entertainment figures alike. He often bases his commentary around interviews, lawsuits, and publicly available information, which has helped reinforce his credibility with audiences who view him as someone willing to confront uncomfortable topics directly. So, when he suggested that even figures like Jay-Z and Beyoncé should pay attention, many online did not immediately dismiss the remark. Not because verified evidence has emerged against them, but because 50 has developed a reputation for standing behind controversial statements and continuing to push conversations long after others move on. Whether that ultimately leads to further revelations or simply fuels more public speculation remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: when 50 Cent speaks, the entertainment industry pays attention, and so does the internet.
Say this in front of a bunch of people in the studio. Me and him got into it that night. And we started snapping and joking and talking to each other. When he said about Danny the Kane, he said they gonna keep on messing with me. Or he said the word effing with me. They gonna keep on effing with me, and I'm gonna when you hear people saying this, this is crazy. This is so crazy right now, because I heard him say it. But to know that he was doing it, it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother light right now, bro. He said it. I'ma drug them out and pimp them out to my they keep with me. And he was talking about Danny the Kane as a group. He didn't single out any one of them. But to hear that he did it, that's just crazy to me. We had a big argument and we started talking about each other and what had and what he didn't have. He was calling me, yo, you broke cop. This like, you ain't got nothing I ain't got. I got a watch, you got a watch. I got a ring, you got a ring, got a chain, I got a home. We went through that whole like that. We start talking about his teeth. You understand? I start talking about, him, his breath, everything. We was going at each other. That next day at his house, he said, yo, Gene, he called me upstairs. And he said, yo, Gene, I couldn't talk to him like that no more in front of people and everything like that. Because I know me and Puff go back from the same gang since 89, 90 when he got jumped in it. You understand? We go back way to that time. So I knew him. You understand? He was like a little nephew. So when he started talking to him, I said, yo, listen here, bro. You don't say shit about me, I won't say shit about you. If you say something, you open up your mouth about me, I'm gonna talk about all your green dentures and all that like that. We're not playing them games, bro. You say, all right, Gene, cool. You understand? People don't understand, bro. The love and the power I had, not only in Harlem, Queens. I had dudes all over New York City, from the Bronx, everybody that had mad love for me because I looked out. You understand? I made sure That people needed knowledge and information on certain things. They had a lot of people that was on parole that was in the music business. I used to save guys by letting them know their rights and what the people could and couldn't do to them. So I had a lot of genuine love from a lot of dudes. You don't be around a K. Slay for over 20-something years, a Chaz Williams over 20-something years, and be some kind of sucker and was right next to him, doing all their functions, all their situations and everything like that, running security for them, making sure their people were safe in the whole 9 yards. You understand? I had my man Pete, I had people calling me, look out for Nate Dogg when he come to New York. Look out for Mac 10, look out for Exhibit, doing stuff like that, Good Brothers and everything like that. So what I'm trying to say to you is that, bro, is that to be at that type of status and be that type of person and do the things that I did, you understand? I had to have people who were in that lifestyle.
Fans are now questioning whether this moment could reshape public trust in the entertainment elite. Some believe a future documentary, if one is ultimately released, could affect careers, reputations, and long-standing partnerships across the industry. Others see it as another chapter in an already complex and highly speculative narrative. And of course, some predict the controversy could trigger even wider disruption throughout Hollywood and hip-hop culture. What many observers agree on, however, is that 50 Cent does not appear finished addressing these topics publicly. Supporters argue that his recent warnings did not sound like jokes or casual internet rumors, but rather deliberate and carefully timed statements meant to keep attention focused on the issue. That has led to a larger question now circulating online. If additional footage, interviews, or claims are eventually released, how will the entertainment industry respond? And will the public figures currently being discussed, including names like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, and Sean Combs, be prepared for the level of scrutiny that could follow? For now, much of the discussion remains driven by speculation, public curiosity, and online interpretation rather than verified new evidence. Only time will determine what, if anything, ultimately surfaces, and what proves credible under closer examination. What do you think? Is this the beginning of a larger shift in Hollywood and the music industry, or simply another cycle of internet speculation amplified by celebrity culture? Share your thoughts below, and stay tuned for future developments as the conversation continues evolving.